Greetings and salutations. Greetings and salutations, the people of Ward F, the people of Ward City. I am Erica Walker, Chief of Staff to the Ward F Council Office, headed by Councilman Frank Educational Gilmore. He is not present today, so I'll be leading the caucus. And in our community caucuses, as you may already know, if you do not know, you can learn at everythingwardf.com/caucus. In our community caucus, we discuss what is going to be voted on during the City Council's Wednesday meeting. On our website, we list not only the link to the agenda, the link to our caucus Zoom, but we give a quick overview of what this caucus is for and what the Monday caucus does, which is present items to be voted on Wednesdays. But we hold this Saturday caucus because the public is not allowed to speak on Mondays and ask the presenters of the items being voted on any questions. But the council can ask questions. So Councilman Gilmore likes to hold these caucuses before the caucus so that he can get the public's input, the community's input, and see what kind of questions the public would like to ask on Monday, and he will ask them on your behalf. Or he either asks them on Monday during the caucus or during the 4 p.m. caucus or prior to that day in the 9 to 4 realm, so that he can get questions answered by the department heads and make a vote with that information. So on our Everything Ward F page, again, we have the dates for our Saturday caucuses, a link to join live, which you have already found, so because you're here. And then what we'll do is also transcripts are available via email, and we're gonna work on putting links to previous caucuses up on the website as well, so that you can view past episodes and understand how these meetings work that much better, because it is a huge learning curve. In the chat, I'm going to post the link to the caucus notes so that you can follow along. I'm also going to share my screen so that you can follow along there as well. So without further ado, let's go to the schedule. So this is the agenda for Wednesday's meeting of the Municipal Council, which is Wednesday, June 14th at 6 p.m. The caucus is available for live viewing. You can get those links right from this agenda. The link to view Monday's caucus is here, and the link to view Wednesday's council meeting is here. And this is via Teams. You do not have to have the app. You can join from the web. And you don't have to have an account. You can just sign in. You can just sign in anonymously. So our first reading, these are introductions. When these ordinances are voted on, it doesn't automatically become law. It has to be voted on a second time, which is called the second reading. So these first readings are introductions, and we'll review them one by one. 3.1 is an ordinance authorizing the modification of the restrictive covenant at block 16301, lot 65, formerly known as block 1827, lot also known as 784 West Side Avenue. So what we like to do is copy the address, and I'm grateful that they gave us the address, because normally they only give us the blocks and lots, and we have to take another step to find that address. So this is 784 to 788 West Side Avenue. And so we'll take a look at what that looks like. And as you can see, this is just around the corner from Lincoln Park, across from the Exxon between Duncan and Fairmont Avenue. So this is in Ward B. And normally what we do is speak to the council person in this ward to see if they have any concerns that they would like us to also help get addressed. However, Mira goes with this is how normally we'll follow, unless we hear differently from the community. All right, number 2, 3.2 is an ordinance supplementing chapter 332, vehicles and traffic, amending section 332-9, stop intersections, and article 3, parking standing stopping, amending sections 332 to 22. at Stanfield Lane. So we'll see here that they're basically adding stop signs, it looks like, so that you'll have to stop at the intersection of Gates and Custer at Stanfield Lane. And then they're also prohibiting parking at all times and restricting parking for street cleaning purposes in this area as well. So if you have further questions, you can scroll down and see information on who presented the ordinance. This was presented by the Division of Traffic and Engineering. So the next couple ones are also traffic related. So 3.3 is street cleaning purposes on 18th Street, North Street, and Washington Boulevard. So that they'll be changing the parking restrictions there, and the time and dates you'll see notated in the ordinance. 3.4 is prohibiting right turns at all times at all approaches to the intersection of Cape and Point and Chapel Avenue. So this is the old Ward F. We'll look at the map. I believe this is now Ward A. But we'd like to look at it on the map just to make sure we're very clear with the area. So no right turns on red at this intersection. And normally these types of, we'll hear from the traffic division on Monday to see where, how this came about. Normally it comes from the community complaining about maybe an accident occurred, somebody got hit, somebody almost got hit. And so they took to the traffic division and requested that right turn lanes be halted, or maybe we need a new stop sign, or we need to upgrade from a stop sign to a street light. So those requests, most of the time they'll go through Residence Response Center and get forwarded to the traffic division, and the traffic division will do a study, and then as a result, add more methods of traffic calming measures. So 3.5 is an ordinance supplementing chapter 332 again. This is for designated reserved parking for disabled residents at various locations throughout the city. When we click on the ordinance, we'll see those locations. So we see George, Emmanuel, Mark, William, Vincent, DeLacy, Harold, Beverly. They all got their requests accepted and approved to have a designated parking spot for a disabled person driving a vehicle. 3.6. Hi, Jake. I'm sorry. I see your hand raised.
Hi. Good morning, Erica. Good morning. I thought I was getting on at 11, and I just wanted to check in. Should I come back a little bit later after?
No, we're almost done. We're at 3.6 after the first readings, and we go into second reading. So when we talk about RTC in the second reading, you're on.
All right, great.
Thanks. All right, 3.6 is an ordinance amending A 352 of the Jersey City Municipal Code designating Glenwood Avenue from Kennedy Boulevard to West Side Avenue as Peacock Way. So we'll click here, and they'll have all the whereas statements. So this is, of course, from the University of New Jersey. They submitted an application to commemoratively designate Glenwood Avenue from Kennedy Boulevard to West Side as Peacock Way. So this is also something that takes several steps to occur. To rename a street, you'd have to get the community in that area to support it, sign petitions, and also submitted application through the traffic division. 3.7 is an ordinance authorizing the city of Jersey City to enter into a lease with Liberty National Development on the real property of block and lot 27503, lot 13 on the city's tax map located at the foot of Chapel Hill for the purposes of reinstating the ferry service to the public. 3.8 is an ordinance authorizing the acquisition by purchase or condemnation of block 10601, lot 42 on the tax map. And this also known as 50 Journal Square for the construction of a public park. Anytime I see condemnation, I always like to have our office reach out to the owners to ensure that, they're not being pushed out, that they have an alternative. Hopefully they are selling as opposed to losing this property to the city. So we'll just look at the map to see what this piece of property looks like. Councilman Gilmore is a lot better at this than me because he knows what these properties look like by memory. So this is off of JFK at Journal Square, number 50 would be close to the path. So it looks like it's next to the theater. Interesting. So we'll want to talk to Bogiano just to make sure everything's okay with this, and he doesn't have, there's nothing controversial regarding the ordinance. And then if the public were here, we would ask you guys if you had any questions with regarding it too. But these meetings go often unattended and people wonder where their tax dollars are going. All right, ordinance 4.1 is an ordinance to amend and supplement chapter 218, the Code of Ordinances of the City of Jersey City, New Jersey, to establish a right to counsel program for Jersey City renters. And Jake, you are on. You want to present this ordinance and let the public know, anybody watching on demand later. You want to tell them about this ordinance?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Councilman Gilmore. I appreciate being on this morning and having the opportunity to speak to Right to Counsel here in Jersey City. Again, my name is Jake. I'm an organizer with the Right to Counsel campaign. We've been fighting for about a year now to get a tenant's right to counsel passed in our city. And that would mean guaranteeing every single renter and tenant in our city access to legal defense and legal support in the case of things like unfair evictions or illegal rent hikes or repairs not happening in your building that your landlord is being negligent in taking care of. So as we know, we're in an eviction crisis in our city, and we're in a rent crisis. It is just too damn high. And so we are fighting hard to make sure that we increase our protections, we empower tenants, and we're able to fight back against what really is a corporate takeover in all this real estate development that's happening. And so 4.1 here, the ordinance to amend and supplement chapter 218, establishing the right to counsel program. Really, this is what it would do. It would set up an office of the right to counsel in our city so that housed as a public right, we have, just like a public defender, folks would be able to go and get support, advice, and if the case escalates to that point, legal defense in the case of things like these unfair evictions. And so this is a huge change. We see that in other cities, like in New York, when we pass right to counsel, eviction filings in the first instance dropped by 30%. And so even before it gets to the point of a landlord and a tenant having to go to court together, landlords just realize that they can't get away with all the crap they might be trying to pull. And so they file fewer evictions in the first place. Tenants are able to stay in their homes so much more and win cases against things like frivolous evictions or illegal rent hikes so much more when a right to counsel is in place. And so we're so excited that it looks like we have support not only from Councilman Gilmore, but enough other council people and even the mayor so that we can push this forward and really protect more renters in our city. Erica, if you want me to talk about any other components of that or get into the second ordinance on the development fees, I'd be happy to.
Yes, please. Let's move on to the development fees, because I believe the people at large fairly understands the right to counsel. It's the
Cool.
development fees that I think has been most controversial, especially when, we talk about what about the little guys? What about, the ones who, own their home and rent out the second unit or third unit and live in Jersey City?
Yeah.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the vast majority of development going on in our city is from these corporate real estate companies. And so this is really targeted at them. And the way this is designed right now is that right to counsel would be funded by nominal fees on development. And so if a building goes up, like, the huge Journal Square buildings or something, before those buildings get their certificate of occupancy, they would have to pay a fee into our affordable housing trust in our city. And some of that money, only a fraction, would go to make sure that we fund right to counsel and that this office has staff. The rest of it, actually 80% of the funds collected by these development fees would go into our affordable housing trust. And so not only are we, through these fees on giant corporations putting up all these new developments, not only are these fees supporting a tenant's right to counsel, but they're also supporting a boon in our affordable housing trust, which can look like a lot of different things. Which can look like rent support, rental assistance, but also constructing new affordable housing potentially. And we've heard concerns about, what about the little guys? What about mom and pop? Like, this is really designed to identify the real conflict between working people, working renters, who are getting so often screwed over by being pushed out, increasing rents across our city, and the main actors, the people who are mainly responsible. So we are not putting the fees that fund right to counsel are not coming from primarily in any way being a landlord, being having one or two tenants in your home. That doesn't mean you're paying a fee. What means you're paying a fee is when you put up new buildings, when you develop luxury condos and things. And so this is really where the money's coming from.
And that fee increases for those high rise, like it goes according to the number of units in the building. So it's not like this corporate developer is paying the same fee as this mom and pop 1-2 family homeowner.
Absolutely. It's a percentage that increases over the next couple of years. So, all things go well, we pass this on Wednesday, June 14th. Then over the next 3 years, it would increase from 0.5% to 1% to 1.5%, which is the legal maximum that the fee is able to extract. And so, corporate developments are going to be paying much higher fees because of that percentage difference.
Right. It's a percent of what? What's
the percentage of the assessed value.
Okay. See, right. So if you don't have $1 billion building, like
that's right.
Right. So okay. So and that's what I wanted to clarify is like it's not a flat developer fee across the board. Nope. A person who owns a 3-unit building is not going to pay, or a person who, is not just owns, you have to be developing. So right. if you are currently a landlord, it does not affect you. If you are going to be a landlord of a new development or a something that's being developed, like if you're changing from 1 family to 2 or 3 or 4 family, then you're now considered a developer. It's a development, and that's where the fees come in. So if you are, so to all the, the current landlords out there who already own their home, they're not making any major changes. You're not adding on, you're not turning your 1 family into a 30-unit building. You are not the target of this ordinance.
That's right. Thanks for clarifying that, Erica. Because, we want to really identify the true divide here and the true division, the true conflict, which is between these giant corporate developers who are empowered with their billions and billions of dollars and working people who are struggling to pay rent. And that's really what we're addressing here with right to counsel and the fees.
Thank you. On behalf of, myself and other, displaced, I like to call myself a displaced citizen because I'm forced to live with my parents because I can't find an apartment that I can afford in Jersey City. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. You and your team have been doing a wonderful job doing so much research. And I look forward to more seeing you and others continue the fight on other levels because Jersey City has a lot of battles left to win.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Erica. And thank you to Councilman Gilmore's office. We've been mixing being on the ground, knocking thousands of doors, making thousands of phone calls to really make this a grassroots community effort. And so we so appreciate the partnership that we have from council members like Frank Gilmore and staff like you, Erica. So yeah, appreciation goes back to you.
Our pleasure. Thanks so much.
Yes.
All right, we're going to continue on with the rest of the second readings. Much like number 4.1 and 4.2, these second readings are going to vote. And once the second reading is approved, it goes into law, I believe within 30 days. These second readings is the second time we are hearing them. The first reading is an introduction. Second readings are law. So 4.3 is an ordinance amending chapter 160 fees and charges and chapter 316 tobacco products and smoking devices to establish licensing requirements for smoke shops and tobacco stores. So we found that smoking harms health, and we found that tobacco use has significant and proven ill effects on health. And for these reasons, they're adding additional additional challenges to the purchase and sale of these types of products. So this is, again, I'm going to go to the end to see the reasons, to see who proposed this and their reasons for it. Is the Department of Housing and Economic Development and Commerce, HEDC. And this ordinance is regarding policy regulations for the existing and recently approved smoke shops, tobacco stores, and cannabis dispensaries. So, and this was what I was confused about, and when it came to a first reading, because the language throughout the ordinance doesn't mention cannabis dispensaries. The language throughout the ordinance only mentions smoke shops and tobacco stores, which I originally saw no issue with. But when you talk about limiting cannabis dispensaries so early in the game, that's when I have more questions. And Sheila Slaughter just joined. Peace and welcome, Sheila. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So I did a quick search before when this was a first reading. I'm going to do it again, looking for the word cannabis. And you could see it on the, okay, you see it on the right. So in addition to the penalties provided in chapter 1, any license issued by the Division of Commerce may be revoked or suspended after hearing upon at least 10 days notice served upon the lease license where the license violates any provision of this chapter. Any person issued a license has been convicted of a crime related to the legal sale of tobacco, cannabis, or adult use. Any license has violated the provisions, any licensee. So this, I feel, needs clarity. Any person issued a license has been convicted of a crime. After, like this, it needs to be specified, a crime that occurred after the license has been provided, because there are cannabis licensors who have been previously convicted. So I feel like that this just needs more clarity, that previous convictions do not apply. Notice of violation of contained specific provisions state law which have been violated in specific acts which shall constitute the violation. A hearing shall be conducted following procedures. And the license has been revoked. So, and then again, here they have fines for tobacco store 600, smoke shop 1,000. I'm sorry, these are the annual licenses, but they do not list the cannabis locations. So I would just like to get some clarity with regards to the inclusion of cannabis storefronts, because they say smoke shops throughout the ordinance, and it's really not clear of how this affects the cannabis storefronts, because they have the whole reason for us entertaining these cannabis stores is to make it legal for those who, to make the sale legal for those who were previously criminalized for selling this now legal substance. So to say we're going to penalize you for a conviction, there just needs to be clarity for when that conviction occurs. Afterwards, I can completely understand, but I just want to see that. Because holes in legislation is how problems arise. All right, and then we'll go on to sorry, we were in the second readings. That was 4.3. We're going to 4.4. 4.44 is a bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of payment of the purchase price for real property located at block 9501, lot 21, on the official tax map of the city of Jersey City in the county of Hudson, state of New Jersey, approximating 17 million, appropriating, sorry, 17.2 million. Therefore, and authorizing the issuance of 17.2 million bonds of notes for the city of Jersey City to finance the cost thereof. So block 9501, lot 21. Let's see if we can see. So this is the part of the Journal Square redevelopment plan. So I'm wondering if this is related to that 50 Journal Square location. And we are spending 17.2 million on. And we go down to the bottom to look at the purpose box. So this comes from the Department of Finance. So this is for 68 to 74 Sip Avenue to purchase that piece of property. It's amazing how certain pieces of property can go for millions and millions of dollars, and others not even reach a million. Okay, that's in Ward B. So we'll consult with, I'm sorry, Ward C. So we'll consult with Bugiano to see if he has any statements on it. 4.4 is a bond ordinance providing, that's what we just read. 4.5 is an ordinance of the Jersey City Municipal Council for the amendments to Chapter 341 to 21 of the Land Development Ordinance regarding applications and checklists to make the zoning determination letter required upon staff request. So the municipality may adopt by ordinance a checklist by which to review applications for development in order to determine completeness. So I do remember this from the first reading. Tanya Planning presented this so that to kind of make it easier for the departments to communicate, and so they're not doing double work. So if items have been checked off by this list, I believe by the zoning department, then the planning department doesn't then again have to search for each of these items because they had been checked off previously. So this is going to make amendments to the land development ordinance. We have a land development committee, a land use committee. I'm going to ask them if they've looked into this at all, to see what their take is on this and to see if they've witnessed the planning board speak of this at all. But the purpose is to amend the planning checklist to make the zoning determination letter only required upon the planner's request. So as opposed to, I guess, for each application. So I do appreciate streamlined activity because it saves time and then therefore saves taxpayers money. 4.6 is an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City adopting amendments to the Powerhouse Arts District redevelopment plan regarding the theater to be built on block 11506 and the constitution of the nonprofit board that shall control the theater. So within this, you'll see links to the Constitution, proposed amendment language, and the Powerhouse District Amendment RDP. So if you have questions about that, it is listed here for your review. 4.7 is an ordinance of the Jersey City Municipal Council adopting amendments to the Route 440 Culvert redevelopment plan to allow for interim uses. So interim is temporary. Interim use plan amendment. So interim uses may be submitted subject to an agreement between the developers and the planning board that such uses will not have an adverse effect upon the existing or contemplated development during the interim use period. Interim uses must be approved by the planning board, which may establish an interim period of up to 10 years in duration. So that's temporary by definition, but 10 years is a long time. The planning board may grant up to 2 additional 1-year renewals of the interim use. In no instance can any interim use store any motor vehicles within any public right of way unless the site or building is protected by the existing non-conforming condition. Any interim use shall comply with the section 6 general land use requirements and restrictions. All right, pretty clear there. 4.8 is an ordinance by the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City vacating portions of West Side Avenue and Van Kuren Avenue. Why are we vacating this land? This is West Side Avenue, West Side and Van Kuren. That's either A or B. Let's look it up. Anybody recognize this area?
No.
This is near 440. So I want to say this would be A. Let's look at it on the map. Let's go back to street. Go back to the map view. All right. Okay. No, this is actually on the north side of West Side. So this is actually Ward C, I think. I'd have to look at the map. Let's look at the map. And for those who do not know, you can get to the ward map on our website, everythingwardf.com. Click on About Ward F. And we have the old ward map, the new ward map as it relates to Ward F. But to see the whole city, you can search your address here, scroll down to the bottom. I wish they moved this map to the top so you didn't have to scroll, because a lot of people come to this page and they're like, the map's not here. You have to scroll. You got to scroll for it. We'll put the address here.
A lot of work for it.
Yeah, definitely do. Okay, so they're not finding, let me just put Van Kuren, because the intersection isn't coming up. So this will tell you, oh, it's actually Ward D, surprise, surprise, not B or C. Let's see how they cut this map up. Let's see how they cut this map. All right, so Van Kuren is actually Ward D. So we'll talk to Yusuf about it, see how his community, if he's discussed this with the community, what they think about it. Anytime we're vacating a land, I'm always, I raise the question like, why are we vacating it? Why aren't we selling it? What,
Exactly.
land is where, we can't grow any more land. So when we vacate land and give it up. So West Side Avenue will become a dead-end street south of New Jersey Transit ME line structure, and Van Kuren will become a dead-end street west of Route 1 and 9 to accommodate the construction of New Jersey Transit bridge abutments. Okay. All right. So abutments, retaining walls and embankments. So this is this goes to the development of a road. So it is for public good.
Aren't they building another light rail somewhere?
Let's see. They plan to construct the 1 and 9 truck road bypass project.
Okay.
So it's a truck route.
Okay.
So to mitigate congestion and safety concerns nearby 1 and 9 and Tunley Avenue. Oh, that's good. That sounds great, because trucks in that area just, it takes so long for them to get into gear. Anytime a truck has to navigate through the city, it's going to cause traffic.
I don't drive, so I take your word for it.
We'll go to 4.9, an ordinance to the Municipal Council of Jersey City adopting the expansion of amendments to the Green Villa redevelopment plan. Now, this Green Villa is along Bergen Avenue. This is along between around the E.G. Kearney area. We looked at this at the last meeting. So we can, they should have some maps in here. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so the Green Villa is, as you can see, between Forest and Orient along Bergen, around the light rail area. So they're expanding it. They're removing and adding. Well, I know there was they added to it. So B and C, I believe, are being added to it. And this little portion of Iggy, this is light rail property. So that's probably why they removed it. And then, so the local redevelopment and housing law permits municipalities to adopt and amend regulations dealing with areas declared to be in need of redevelopment or in need of rehab. So the Greenville redevelopment plan expansion area occurred, the study of it occurred in 2022. And it was modified in January. Yeah, I remember when they added to it. And this went through planning. So this is the second reading. We didn't have any issues or questions with regards to it in the first reading, so I'm sure it'll be approved.
It's residential, yes?
It's a residential area, yes.
Okay.
And they're expanding it. So they're adding to the redevelopment area.
Okay.
So when this happens, you're gonna see developments come. Developments are definitely going to come to this area now that it's a part of the redevelopment zone. So what this says is to basically, these neighbors should be paying attention to planning and zoning, because there will soon come developments to this area. High rises, low rises, definitely definitely 6-story buildings. A lot of these 4-story buildings are being turned into 6-story or better. And it's encouraged by the affordable housing overlay to add floors, because when we add floors, we also add affordable housing. So not all development is bad. Responsible development is great, especially if it allows for more affordable housing. But along with the good, there will be some bad, like, more affordable housing is, you might add one unit for every 4 one unit for every one affordable housing unit for every 3 to 4 regular market rate units. And so yes, that one affordable unit is great, but those market rate units might come with drivers, might come with cars. So then we have to make sure that parking is accommodated as well.
Well, the other aspect of the affordable housing, I've been watching the budget meetings too online. I mean, Jersey City, I say this respectfully, they're not on par in terms of their rate of pay.
Oh no, they're not.
So, and my employment history is predominantly in New York City, but it's really bad here, and you have this housing crisis. It's all a big old mess. It's a hot pot of a melting pot of a mess. It doesn't what am I trying to say? It doesn't pair out equitably.
Right. The gap is widening.
You don't have a fair rate of pay. People can't afford to live here. That's just a recipe for disaster. I mean, the missing element is paying people a fair wage.
And that's why there's such a gap in the units. Like, you either are low income and can afford and can qualify for Section 8, or you are making 6 figures because you got a job in New York somewhere.
Right.
And then everybody
everybody
in the middle is like, what do I do? Where do I go? Where are the apartments for me? Where are the houses for sale for me? Like,
where are the jobs?
where are the jobs? Right.
I mean, where are the jobs?
Right. We're adding all of these apartments and luxury apartments, but we are not adding jobs. Like, where are the businesses coming to Jersey City offering jobs to our people? Like, Amazon just did a huge layoff. So
right. There are more layoffs coming across all industries. So
what is our mayor doing to bring jobs, to attract jobs? He has done a great job attracting developers.
Right.
A great job attracting 6-figure incomes to come, have an apartment, a place to stay, and have a view of the waterfront. But where are the jobs?
The HR budget hearing, the HR presentation, they're like understaffed, and
Yes, they
I
are.
I hear that the city offices are complaining that their HR isn't fulfilling their um hiring needs adequately.
Right. They're not. And the people who know how to do their jobs are getting
Right.
stuck doing someone else's job because that someone else got hired probably believe based off of nepotism or because they knew somebody or did
Yeah.
somebody a favor and got a job, is
Uh-huh.
underqualified for this job, and therefore putting more pressure on that department to pick up the slack or spend more time training
You're
because
gonna
it's a
lose,
revolving door and we spend
you're
so
gonna
much
lose,
time training.
you're gonna lose those people.
Yep, we
You're
are.
gonna lose-
We are. And then
That's a culture issue. That's a really bad culture issue.
it is. And then some of these directors, I am all for giving people raises for when they do the job
Right.
properly and when
Yeah.
when they have the experience, the knowledge, and the criteria to get
Right.
that raise and to be a director. But I
Right.
am not for somebody getting a raise just because a fellow director got a raise. Like
Right.
that's what that's I've been watching a bunch of hearings too, and they're trying to be like, oh well, all the other directors got a raise except for this one. Well, there might be a reason why that director didn't get a raise. Maybe that director needs to go back to school. Maybe that director needs to, get more experience or get more training. Maybe that
Well,
director isn't hitting their quota. You
I
shouldn't
got
just get a raise as a director just because the rest of the directors got a raise.
in terms of the dealing with culture and diversity and equity and all of the things you just mentioned, I'm astonished at how far behind the scenes Jersey City is, generally speaking, on these things. I think that I don't remember who the director is, but she mentioned that they're just now getting around to hiring people to come in to address those types of issues, have a consultant come in. This is 2023. What have
Right.
you guys been doing?
We want to look like a big city, but we operate like a small town.
Yeah, and the way it's operated, it's going to fail. I'm sorry to say it.
I see it too. I spent 20 years in corporate America, and this is my first stint in government. And
I'm astonished.
I'm so sad.
It's
It's embarrassing
respectfully. I mean, I live here
and
and
disrespect. Yeah.
I like being here, but I'm astonished at how backwards. It's like you're still operating under a paradigm of 1980s paradigm of work environment. That doesn't, that's you gotta catch up, and you gotta catch up fast.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we're going to continue on with the agenda. Special Improvement District has a public hearing for the Central Avenue Special Improvement District. So they'll present their role and budget. So far, we only have 4 people on the list to speak, but I see that rising because this is the last day the RTC will be heard and voted on. So there's going to be a lot of people coming out to support right to counsel. So you can sign up to speak in support of that. Actually, you know why this list is short? You do not have to sign up to speak for a second reading. You only have to sign up to speak on or on resolutions or anything you want to speak on. So for second readings, these four numbers, you don't have to sign up. You just get in line when the ordinance is up for discussion.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I tell the Black Association.
Yes, please.
How do I get a copy of this?
So I posted, so if you go to our website, everythingwordf.com, click on Community Caucus. Here's a link to the agendas right here.
Oh, okay, I'll get it. I'll send it to our Black Association people.
And I've also posted it on all of our Instagram pages, Facebook. If you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, any of our Community Caucus flyers will also have the website, everythingwordf.com/caucus.
Okay, I follow. Okay, I just have to get savvy about that.
And if you're on Nextdoor, we posted on Nextdoor.
I'm on Nextdoor.
We also have a community page on Nextdoor. Let me see if I signed in here.
So 4.1.
Yeah, 4.1 is right to counsel.
Okay.
And you just missed Jake Efros. He did a presentation or he spoke briefly on 4.1 and 4.2 and the benefits. And I also asked him to highlight the
I
fact
think
that
I've heard him speak somewhere else.
you heard him
I
speak somewhere else. Okay.
go attend these Zoom meetings as much as I can.
So
I feel like I heard him speak about it somewhere else.
yeah, Jake and Isaac and that whole team, they've been everywhere speaking about it. I invited him to come on here to
That's great.
yeah, I wanted him to hone in on the fact that this does not target your mom and pop landlords. It's like this ordinance is not affecting people who already own a 2 or 3 family home and rents out their units. This does not affect you guys. This affects people who are building new developments. It's a developer fee. So if you're not developing something, if you're running something that's already developed, past tense, this does not affect you. Excuse me? I'm sorry, it was breaking up a little, Sheila.
Maybe. It'll impact them indirectly.
This does not impact mom and pop landlords who currently own and run a units. No, this does not affect them at all.
Like they have a lot of like they have. Okay.
Well, I'm talking about the development fee. The development fee does not affect current landlords. The development fee is only taxed on those future developers who are developing. If you have already developed, past tense, you are not being charged a development fee because you already have your certificate of occupancy. The development fee gets charged to new buildings right before they go to get their certificate of occupancy. So this is really targeting those new high-rise buildings, those 30, 60, 100 plus unit buildings. I'm sorry?
As well it should.
Right. And if you're a developer building a 4-unit building and you don't plan on living there, but I believe they put in an exception that if you are planning on living in your 4-unit building, then you are exempt as well. So you'll hear them speak on that.
Okay.
At the meeting. Now the right to counsel affects, yes, it does affect any landlord.
Right.
But the beautiful thing about it is the right to counsel, just having it makes a positive effect in our community without spending any money. Just having a right to counsel will decrease eviction filings by 30%.
Yeah. If this
landlords will think twice before they evict you. They won't evict you for no reason because they know they're going to have to prove it in court.
If this doesn't pass, I would be surprised.
Very. So it's already got 5 votes unofficially. So we hope this will pass. And I'd be interested to see who votes against it. Please pay attention to who votes against it, because you should not be voting for them in the next 2 to 4 years, please.
Yeah. And I think if it doesn't pass, they might see some kind of reaction from the community.
Hopefully, and rightfully so. I want the community to continue to be aware and engaged. Instead of watching Power and being upset at Real Housewives, like we need to be upset at our government. We need to. We need to pay attention to this. It's because it's episodic. Every 2 weeks we vote. Every 2 weeks we spend millions of taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we're going to go to the resolutions, and these are items that go into law as soon as we vote on them. Starting with the 10.1 resolution, 10.1 resolution honoring the life and legacy of achievements of Robert Byrne. Love these. Love when we recognize great people in our community doing great things. 10.2 is a resolution recognizing a student at Explore School in 2023 New Jersey State National History Day finalists. So student number 4, Learning Community Charter School has selected you as a finalist in the National History Day. They don't state his name or her name. Okay, so they're not acknowledging Isabella Stein for this achievement.
Were those folks they honored at the city council meeting? They took pictures with them and all?
Yeah, that was another. I'm wondering if this is a continuation of that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, because they honored over a dozen
Yeah,
students at the last meeting.
yeah.
So this is the same thing, another student being honored. 10.4 is a resolution approving the appointment of Tamika Riley McReynolds to the Women's Advisory Board. And they should have her
Yeah, I
resume
think
here.
this is the paperwork for those presentations.
Yes. So what this is, and this is the Women's Advisory Board. I want to
Yeah.
take this opportunity, this time, to just ask about the reparations task force, the reparations committee or task force that we voted on in January 2021. I have not heard an update from them. I have not heard, and I believe they were voted in, if not at the same meeting, but in the same time frame as the Women's Advisory Board went. So it's coming on that time when we should be looking at the members. Do they rotate every 2 years?
Mhm.
Because I just haven't heard anything about reparations and this, what this any work that this task force has done.
I just learned about it from the council meeting, and I started following them when I learned about them on Instagram. So it's new to me, but I'm interested in what they do.
So you did hear about the Women's Advisory Board or the Reparations Task Force?
The Women's Advisory Board. It was the first time I heard about them was at the council meeting. So I started following them on Instagram just so I can familiarize myself better with what they do.
Okay, this is them, JC Women's Advisory Board. I didn't even know they had an Instagram. I'm following them now.
That's my go-to place.
Okay. No, I love it. I mean, we try to stay active on Instagram as well. And for those watching on demand, if you do not have Instagram or are anti-social media, it's okay. We have a community forum right here on our website where you can see all of our Instagram posts, all of our recent Instagram posts. So because we post about maybe 3 or 4 posts a day, you'll want to come here often so you don't miss anything. But you can see.
I like the video that Gilmore shared there about the fireworks. That was good.
Yes, because they're shooting at each other, and they're using fireworks as a weapon. It has to come to a stop.
Oh, I didn't know that's what they were doing.
Yeah, it's not just a game. And so so this is Instagram, this is Facebook, and then these are links to our newsletters, and you can sign up for our newsletter here, and you can see a complete list, this link right here, a complete list of all of our previously published newsletters.
This is a great site you guys have built.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we know that Jersey City's website can be very hard to navigate. So we try to put the most important things that people are coming for on our homepage. People want to find youth programs. They need employment. They need housing. They need help. So learning how to find help, this will get you to nonprofit organizations that service the community within the city. It's a Healthier JC website. So putting in your zip code will allow you to find nonprofit organizations near you. But I want to do a whole episode just on our website and to let people know how great it is. But thank you so much for that.
It is very comprehensive.
And back to 10.5 is a resolution to cancel the tax sale certificate due to a bankruptcy filing and refund the purchase to this residence here.
Yeah.
So
the paperwork from those presentations they made last meeting.
I'm sorry. Yeah, they have the paperwork for the certificate, and so it's about $9,000 in a reimbursement.
Wow.
Redemption. All right, a resolution 10.6 is a resolution appointing Stephen M. DeLuca as a member of the Jersey City Immigrant Affairs Commission. Yusuf was added at the last meeting. 10.7 is a resolution appointing Ebony Onuforo as a member of the Jersey City Immigrant Affairs Commission. 10.8 is a resolution appointing Sonia Dublin as a member of the Jersey City Cannabis Control Board. So Sonia Dublin, I'm sure she's probably related to Jeffrey Dublin.
I don't know either of those people.
10.9 is a
know.
you don't know Sonia or Jeffrey?
I don't know. No.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dublin used to be a part of the I think the planning board or JCRA, and I think he's elsewhere now.
Oh, so
Um,
I do watch the cannabis board meetings. He sits on the board that on those panel meetings. Is he a part of those cannabis review?
Jeffrey Dublin or Sonia, which one? Sonia.
Sonia. Whoever, whichever.
So Sonia just got added
She wouldn't be there.
yeah, Sonia's being added to the cannabis control board. So I wonder who she's replacing.
Okay, yeah, because I watch those online too.
Let me make this
I
bigger.
can't
So
see
I can
the
see.
panel very well.
I'm gonna make it bigger. Sorry.
No, not you. I mean the cannabis board panels. You can't see them.
Oh no, I
very-
know they don't switch back and forth often. They go to the
Yeah,
audience more so than the board.
they just so far zoomed out. You can't see them. See the people very well.
Mm.
So did they have a moratorium on more applications? I think they
It's-
stopped for
It's still
now.
in the pause. They're
Oh.
accepting applications, but they're not hearing any that. I know they're probably hearing. I think they're still hearing the applications that came in before May 15th. But if you submitted an application after May 15th, or is either May 15th or May 21st,
Okay.
then you won't be heard until the moratorium is over. And then they're trying to figure out a way to prioritize
Mhm.
previously affected communities, community applications and minority applications with legally. Like, how can we legally prioritize persons after we've already approved applications? Because if you say,
Right.
like, or even if we say, all right, we're going to start prioritizing, we've already approved so many that like this is too late in the game. So this all should have been done before we started approving applications. And like everything else, Jersey City is
Thinking that
Jersey City is
okay.
And I'll say it, and sorry for any children listening, but it's ASS backwards. We are ASS backwards, Jersey City. So, but I digress. Moving on, 10.9 is a resolution authorizing a license agreement with AMFP Blaine Apartments, allowing the city of Jersey City to enter property owned by the licensor to use space for the July 4th. We're going to see a lot of these. So we use other people's property for the sake of either security or viewing. There's various reasons, photography,
like
or
mobilizing and stuff.
Making sure that we are that all the grounds are accessible from various directions.
Are we spending money for that? I guess to give money to those people,
That's a
the
good
property
question.
owners, for the use of their space.
That is a great question. I'm gonna look at the license agreement and search for a $. And I don't see any within
Nope.
here.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Installed.
I
Okay.
guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of these. Now, there are going to be dollar amounts attached to the program itself. We spent over $1 million on our 4th of July last year. I think fireworks alone were 6-digit figures. Like, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm surprised.
I'm sorry.
Wait, that's for the entertainment down at Exchange Place?
The fireworks show,
Is that
the whole show, because
Yeah.
last year we had like Flo Rida. I don't even know why we had Flo Rida. Like, first of all, he's from Florida. His name Flo Rida.
Yeah.
Second of all, he hasn't had a hit out and I don't know how long, but I don't know. I don't keep up with music, so.
Okay.
And then Shaq came through. I didn't go.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know who he is.
mhm. So,
Wow, that's
let's
a lot of
look.
money.
Mhm.
Wow.
10.11. When I was little, I never went to a Jersey City fireworks, just sidebar. I always watched New York's.
Oh yeah.
I always watched New York show from Liberty State Park. I didn't even know Jersey City had a show. So
I think it's new, isn't it new? I don't know. I think it's I don't know. I
it
don't go
must be.
I don't attend.
10.11 is a resolution of the municipal council referring to the development of the development impact fee spending plan to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Application Review Committee.
What's that mean?
So let's read that again. A resolution of the municipal council referring the development of the development impact fees spending plan, okay, to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Application Review Committee. Okay, great. So the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Application Review Committee is going to create how the development impact fees will be spent.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
All right. 10.12 is a resolution of the municipal council of the city of Jersey City referring an ordinance amending chapter 160, section 2, entitled development fees. This is again related to the right to council development fees to fund affordable housing of the municipal code to the planning board pursuant. Okay, so now the planning board will also look at the development fees to fund affordable housing. So we'll have two groups looking at these fees and how they'll be spent for affordable housing. So again, because we know the next step is now paying attention to planning and this public meeting, and also paying attention to the Housing Fund Application Review Committee. This too is a public meeting. And so we're going to want to know when this meeting will be had so that we can promote it and make sure that we have a seat at the table as well, because they're going to talk about how do we spend affordable housing trust fund money. We need to make sure it's not just being spent in one way. You know, it's not just saying, okay, the affordable housing trust fund money will go for future affordable housing development. No, we need present affordable housing development. Like we need to see how can we make sure that they create a plan for us now and not just 10 years from now, because a lot of these plans are so far in the future. Like Bayfront, yes, Bayfront is going to be 30% affordable, but it's not going to be built for I think they're breaking ground sometime this year, but it's not going to be ready for years to come. So we need more plans.
Do we have historical data on how the what is it called, the impact, the what is it called again, the development impact fee plan for
that would
affordable
be
housing? Do we have the
history? Let's see if we can find a link.
How it was done,
Oof.
how they did it, or how do we find? Is that
right? Nothing here. So what I'm going to do is search this on the
information
Jersey City
findable
website. We'll see.
Because when it would be useful to know how they funded it historically,
right,
going forward.
So I just did a search on the Jersey City website for this committee. And so the last thing they did looks like Bayfront. They approved the proposal for increased affordable housing. Arts and culture, mayor urges vote.
Recent affordable housing? No.
Affordable housing and construction. But nothing with the quote. I'm going to put this in quotations because that's a better search tool. Okay, so the Affordable Housing Trust Fund and Home eligible products may fund a wide range of activities, including building, buying, and or rehabbing affordable housing or rent or home ownership. Home is the largest federal block grant to, it'd be nice to know what they've done recently. Follow this link to apply, request for a proposal. Okay, so we have Affordable Housing Trust Fund, 8 items here.
Okay.
So there's,
Some
last thing they posted was August 2022. This is a request for proposal, an RFP, newspaper notice, affirmative marketing plan. What's that marketing plan like?
yeah, right. And then there's the RFP.
There's the
What is that?
application. Okay, let's see what they're looking for. Request for proposals for affordable housing projects. This one out August 22, and the closing date was October 19th. So this is old. We should know who applied and who got accepted. The RFP shouldn't be the last thing I see. Yeah, the RFP should not be the last thing that we see here.
That's true.
So
Audit findings might be interesting.
and that was a downloaded, it just downloaded to my screen.
It's kind of telling that we can't find what we need.
That it's so hard to find it. Like it should be. So that is the application. Is this an audit application to receive the audit?
From a fair housing marketing plan.
Yeah, this is an actual application that I thought I downloaded the audit.
That's what you clicked on.
Audit findings, right? I clicked on audit findings. It downloaded audit find doc. It's a Word. Oh, here's a Word doc. Okay. All right. So you probably can't see it. Let me stop my share and share my screen again so you could see the document I just opened. Applicants must resolve to the satisfaction of DCD. So this is just an audit findings document. It is not a completed document.
You know what? That whole thing is kind of telling. Why can't we see the information? What's up?
So I'm gonna put a note to we'd like to see the latest activity
people
from this department. Yeah, which one is this? I'm gonna go back to the see, and this is work, and then people wonder why I haven't responded to their email yet. It's because just being prepared for this meeting alone takes an entire week. This is 10.1 because each agenda item, takes a day to research and understand. Like my position should be given to a lawyer, but no lawyer would take this pay, this salary. They look at the salary and be like, "You want me to do what?"
That's the one thing I've noticed, that all of the offices are severely understaffed.
Yes, and then because of the low pay, we can only afford to hire.
But departments don't have enough staff, but we can develop everything.
Right. And we're not paying enough to hire well-experienced people. So
not competitive salaries.
Right. So we're hiring people who are learning on the job as opposed to coming in.
The dark ages.
That part. We use the worst type of computers, like the cheapest, like just because it's the cheapest doesn't mean it's the best. I understand you're trying to save taxpayers money, but you're getting these computers with low RAM, low memory, so I can't do anything. I can't open.
You have to work harder.
And longer, right? The computers in the office, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. It's such a waste of the taxpayers' money to waste my time. So that's why I'm on a Mac right now. I'm working from home, but I work from my Mac when I'm at home because I can get more done.
Watching the HR presentation at the budget hearing, I mean, I kind of knew it anyway, but they just confirmed it.
Right. All right. The budget hearing, the fact that they didn't screen share, disrespectful. The fact that they're going through this presentation and they don't have it up on the screen. Come on, they don't want you to know. They want you to have to dig for it. They want you to have to put in an Oprah request to find out how much somebody makes. Like, nah, these are my tax dollars.
They did mention some salaries, and they were
Mhm.
woefully underpaid. These
Mhm.
people
Mhm.
woefully
Right,
underpaid.
that they mention the low salaries. They don't
Yeah.
mention every time they say some people are paid six figures
Oh,
though. There's
I
some
know.
directors getting paid $170 something thousand.
Yes.
Okay, so
I get it. I'm an HR person, so I understand. I get that. I know what's going on.
there are some directors who I feel just get the six-figure income
Yeah.
because that's what directors make. Nah.
Right.
How
Right.
well is your department performing?
Right.
That should be. I digress. Okay, I just want to circle 10.11. We want to ask for the audit. We want to ask for the previous plan. And we want to know who responded to the RSP,
Yeah.
RFP responses.
And that was last year. That information should be readily available. That should be noted. It should just be readily available.
Right. The last thing on that's published should not be from 2022.
Yeah.
10.12, a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City referring an ordinance amending Chapter 160, Section Development Fees. Okay, we discussed that. That's the affordable housing development fees. 10.13 is a resolution introducing and approving 2023-2024 budget of the McGinley Square Special Improvement District. So they should have their budget here. So they have their budget here, unfortunately. So their total budget is 181,000
For
SID. But
which,
that's paid for by members of the SID. They do get grants as well.
oh,
So these aren't tax dollars. So the revenue generated is 181, and then the expenses is 181. So all of their expenses are covered by cash on hand, SID taxes, because they tax the properties, the businesses within the SID. JC Arts and Culture Trust Fund gives them a grant.
okay.
So this comes from that. I think it's like a 1% tax for the art tax.
Okay.
And then special events, miscellaneous. They only garnered $1,000 for special events. That's sad.
Yeah.
Website ads, they need to do better.
And we're gonna have the farmers market soon at Berry Lane, I think.
So this isn't the
This
is Berry
not-
Lane part of McGinley Square?
It's unrelated. I was just saying.
Yes. So the farmers market and trash or treasure, flea market, items like events like that
Yeah.
raise funds. So hopefully like Friends of Berry Lane can have, balance their budget that way as well.
Yeah. The Morris Canal is where I heard that they're gonna have the Berry Lane.
I would like to, I'm sorry to cut you off. I was gonna say, I would like to see how we can start a SID for Ocean Avenue, for businesses along Ocean Avenue. Because that helps keep the community clean as well, because the SID helps for pay for trash collection.
You know what? I've never walked Ocean going towards the right. I don't know. Wait. I haven't walked on Ocean if you're going towards the center. I didn't know there were lots of businesses over there.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of boarded up storefronts that the R1 changes were supposed to have helped cure, because currently the R1 plan or the development area, I'm sorry, it's the redevelopment plan, sorry, that they were updating. They wanted to include other parts of Ocean Avenue so that those and to make changes so that those storefronts could change their use, because currently if the store was a restaurant, it had to maintain it, the new owner would have to keep it a restaurant. If it was a laundromat, the new owner would have to keep it a laundromat. The recent changes they made said that you could change the use.
It would be nice to have a nice little cafe right around here.
Yeah.
Like I don't always want to have to walk over to West Side or down to Monticello. It'd be nice if we had a little cafe we could sit around here.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity on Ocean Avenue. There's a lot of boarded up stores. There's a lot of investment opportunities. So
okay,
if there was an SID, they would have a budget to help promote these small business opportunities, because SIDs get grant money, can apply for grant money because they're nonprofit organizations.
It's a great idea.
I'm just gonna put that for Ocean SID as a note. 10.14 is a resolution introducing and approving the 2023-2024. We talked about that already. 10.4. Why is the 10.14 twice? Okay, never mind. That was my bad. 13, 14. We're on 15. 10.15 is a resolution adopting and ratifying the 2023-2024 budget of the Central Avenue SID. 10.16 is a resolution. Oh, do you want to look at their budget, Central Avenue?
No,
I mean, just for comparison purposes.
That's true. What's ours?
So 167 lower than McGinley Squares, and they bring in 167. Said assessment is 117, so I'm assuming that's their taxes. Where they tax the businesses. Public funds, municipal, none, so they get none from municipal. Grants, they got 15,000. I wonder what type of grant is that, from the same arts grant. And then 30, they raised 35,000 from their private fundraising. So that's more impressive. That's more impressive than 1,000 though.
What is our Jackson Avenue?
Jackson Hill SID's budget was in a previous.
Okay.
Let me see if I can.
I don't want to. You keep going. I used to volunteer there, but I don't know. I never knew how. I know Michelle was always trying to write grants and stuff to get money.
Yes, and to get money. We're trying. I know she's trying to get more grants so that MLK and Monticello can have a better lighting for the holiday season.
Besides, that's good. That's so nice, but we need other things too.
Right. Well, like street pickup all day long, like not just twice a day.
Yeah.
Because twice a day they empty the garbages twice a day, like every 8 hours, they say, or 3 times a day. So it's every 8 hours, but those garbage cans fill up within an hour, especially in the 3 o'clock hour, so yeah, we could definitely benefit.
To our Block Association, as
Block associations can also qualify for grants because they're not 501c3 organizations.
I'm going to let Leotis know that.
If your block association is a certified 501c3, you can also qualify for grants and get like community cleanup funds for your neighborhood. Yes.
I'm going to let Leotis. He might know it. I don't know. I'll let him know. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. But from the Morris Canal meeting, that whole trash pickup thing where the trash was being spilled came up. And our Block Association raised that. And from Leotis, I understand they're going to put 2 more garbage cans around here.
Great. And we're trying to get more garbage cans. I recently requested the list of trash receptacles in Ward F. So I actually have the list for the entire city of Jersey City. So we are looking for anybody who wants a trash can on their block. All you have to do is request it. You can submit the request through the council office, and we'll submit our list to the Department of Public Works.
But didn't that guy say from Public Works that they don't want to put them on the blocks because people put their personal trash in?
So that's why we want to get those nice trash cans that they got downtown, where you could put in, it's just a hole like that for your cans and your cans and your bottles, a square for your papers, a bigger hole for.
You're right. You're absolutely.
Let's get those fancy garbage cans like they have downtown.
You're right.
So that's what we're fighting for. Not that, because
smart and not hard.
You know what they're gonna say though? The rebuttal is gonna be, people will sit on top of them. That's why they rebutted against the garbage cans with the lid, because we used to have, remember those, I don't know how long you've been here, we had those brown trash cans. They were so ugly, but they had lids on them. You put your garbage in from the side, so you couldn't put a big old trash bag. You could put a small, like say your bathroom trash could fit in there, but your big trash can couldn't, your big garbage bag couldn't fit in them. But they removed them because, and replaced them with those plant those big orange plant pots because
Mhm.
people were sitting on top of the garbage cans. And
Unfortunately, I still see people sitting on mailbox. I still see that.
right, what are you
Unfortunately,
gonna do? And we're not gonna take the mailboxes away.
right.
Actually, we need more mailboxes in Ward F. But
That's true.
that's a fight with the post office.
Anyway, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
All right,
Go on.
sorry.
Keep interrupting.
It's all right. That's what this is for. I enjoy the conversation. Thank you for being here, so I'm not talking to myself, because the first part of the meeting was very boring.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
I was in our block association meeting.
10.17 is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Lawmen Supply Company of New Jersey for the purchase and delivery of federal tactical ammunition for the Emergency Service Unit of the Department of Public Safety. 10.18 is a resolution authorizing the Jersey City Department of Public Safety to accept funding from the United States Department of Justice, Office of Community Oriented Policing Services for participation in the CHOPS hiring. So great. So that sounds like so that will cover salaries for 15 newly hired police officers. I love this.
Well, I love it too, but they're still underpaid.
They 41,000 per year. That is sad.
It is.
Why be a police officer? Why risk my life for 41 a year? 41 a year is not going to allow me to afford an apartment in Jersey City.
You can't afford to live. That's right. They leave. We've lost so many because of the salary. It's not enough. How can why?
That's why the turnover is so high. And so I just want to do this real quick, just to make a point to anybody watching on demand. So 41. Let's say 42. Let's round up. 42 divided by
wage
divided by 12 is $3,500 a month. A third of that's divided by 3, because a third of that is supposed to be your rent. 11. So you can only afford $1,100 rent. There is nowhere in Jersey City that is going to rent you anything.
That's right.
That is legal. You might get an illegal basement apartment, but now basement apartments are legal because we passed that. We passed the new R1 changes. You might be able to get a basement apartment for like $1,400, because I know this because I rented an illegal basement apartment 2 years ago for $1,400. You're not gonna find anything.
That's
And
to my point earlier. I mean, our salaries are not on par with the rents. I mean, I don't understand. How does this administration not understand this?
who we gonna hire? We're gonna end up hiring somebody just to get a job, and then they're gonna end up either quitting or leaving Jersey City. They might be from Jersey City and get hired and work here, but they eventually gonna leave Jersey City. They're gonna get these funds from Jersey City, and they're gonna spend them elsewhere where it's cheaper. So we're giving away our money. We are not keeping our money in our community when we do this.
It's terrible. I can't. I can't. It's hard to imagine that
I'm signing up to speak on this.
It's hard for me to believe that this is a blind spot for this quality of life issue. Affordable living wage and affordable housing is a blind spot. I don't understand it.
And what's up? I would like to know what's up with the workforce housing. Because I know police officers, teachers, I believe if you're in like the medical field and you work in Jersey City, you qualify for workforce housing. I feel like we need an audit of workforce housing, and people who once qualified for workforce housing and still live in workforce housing and now are overqualified. I feel like they need to be booted, because you're taking up, like Amy DeGeese, you're taking up a spot for somebody else. Just for workforce housing, it's my understanding that if you once qualified, you're like grandfathered in.
Right.
So if you get a better job in years to come, you still get to keep that original workforce housing. And and it's not fair, because you're taking up a spot for somebody who needs it. You no longer need workforce housing, but you're staying there because you once upon a time qualified. So
I agree.
All right, I'm making my points. I'm gonna start. I lost my committee. I lost my committee race, but it's okay, because now I'm just gonna hold the committee person who won accountable.
Yeah. Who was it?
Darlene Green, and
Oh.
I don't even know the name of her, the person that she won with. But it's okay. All these committee people, they're going to be held accountable now, because we tried to do our thing and take your place so that we could do your job better than you.
Yeah.
Or do the job, period, because they wasn't doing. I haven't heard from the majority. I might have a handful of committee people have come to our office to introduce themselves or to speak on behalf of their community. A handful out of the 34 times 2, 68 committee people that are in Ward F. We've only heard from a handful.
So as a constituent, I do my best individually to get informed about who's who. But even with my efforts, it's still a challenge to know who these people are, what their platforms. They only come out of the woodwork when there's an election. And if you think you could do something with this, or your office can do something with this, great. But when it's election time, there should be one or two main campaigns where they all have to speak at a panel, and people can come and listen or follow it via Zoom. Because this hit or miss, this is what my platform is over here, and then you as the constituent is left to go have to find out what they're really doing. It's convoluted, and it's defeating the purpose. And I don't think people really know who they're voting for because of how the whole election
The
whole campaigning process plays out. You don't know who you're really voting for. You need to have these panel like they do for the president.
Right.
It should,
the local elections affect you more in a more direct manner. These committee elections, council elections affect you more than a presidential election.
Exactly.
We vote every 2 weeks on how we spend your money. Like,
but people don't, but the constituents, and I know you probably know this, they're not in touch.
And that's why we try to have these conversations, these public conversations. But at the same time, as much as we try to put it out there, it's on the constituent to want to know it. And we're trying to have that sense of urgency. We're trying to relay that sense of urgency on why you should want to know this information.
Yeah, what is that? What is the issue? I don't understand why people don't want to know. I don't understand.
Because it's easier not to know. Ignorance is bliss. That old saying is so true. It's not to know is happy. To not know keeps you unresponsible.
It's lazy and complacent ideology to put your quality of life well-being in somebody else's hands without knowing what their true agenda is.
I agree. I would agree. So I'm here on the Hudson County Clerk's website to show you how hard it is to find your elected officials. So we're going to go to county. Those are your county elected officials. I'm sure they haven't been updated because we actually have new county executives. I think the elections aren't actually official until the 19th. So after the 19th, we should see this updated. Municipal, but I'm just trying to see how we find our committee people. It's sad.
Municipal,
But municipal is city. That's our mayor.
That's not the next layer down.
Right. So it's council people, municipal. This is schools. It should be under county, but this is only putting the county executives. State is your legislators. Federal are your Senate and House of Representatives. So committee people aren't listed here.
That's the problem. That's a problem.
And then, election archives. So we can look at 2021 elections. Primary election is where the committee primary election results. But to dig this deep.
Yeah, people aren't going to do it.
No. So even when I received the I have it on my other computer, the the list of committee people, but by the time I found it, they only list their street address. So either I have to send them a snail mail letter or show up on their front porch to have a conversation with them. And you know, sorry to say it, but the Jersey City Post Office is not reliable. I get so many complaints about people not receiving their mail. So I'm supposed to show up on the front porch of my committee person and hope they're home.
Right.
They should have government email addresses at the least, so that the public can get in touch with them.
You telling me they don't? They don't?
No, they do not.
Are you serious? I'm sorry.
No, either you have to find out who they are, be related to them, or know them personally and have their personal phone number, or get introduced to them and then they give you their personal phone number. But a lot of committee people do not want people to have their personal phone number. So my thing is, why did you apply for the job? Why did you run?
Well, yeah, okay. I don't know if I wanted them to have my personal phone number.
I mean, or have a way to contact you.
Right.
Like fight for a government phone then. A
government phone. I appreciate them, Gilmore, and you guys have phone numbers out there, but I wouldn't want to be abusing that, you know?
Oh, I mean, it comes with the territory. My thing is, it comes with the territory. You know, I respect, I appreciate the way that you respect our privacy, but when you run for a public position, it comes with the territory. Just like being a world famous superstar, you have no privacy anymore. You want it to be famous, so now people want to be in your business.
Right.
It comes with the territory. Like, you know.
But I do agree they should have a government email and a phone number at the very least. That just makes sense. But whatever. Anyway, next.
Right, next. Okay, so 1019, a resolution authorizing an agreement with Interaction Insight Corporation for the event-wide voice recording system for the Department of Public Safety without public bidding. So they don't go to public bidding, probably because it's proprietary software. And it is our 911 system. 1020 is a resolution ratifying the award of contract with Gold. Actually, sorry, because this went out without bidding, I wanted to know, okay, $39,000. Okay, so that's about a contract for
just for a year.
Yeah. The thing is about it is, though this is cheaper than hiring a person, sometimes it's more beneficial to hire in-house and create and have someone in-house. If we could double this, right? If we could double that or even triple that, hire someone who has an expertise, therefore any software they create belongs to the city as opposed to being proprietary.
It's our proprietary.
Right, but it's ours, right? We don't have to keep paying this corporation or this. We could, if that person chooses to leave, they would have to just train the person that's going to replace them, and the system and the software remains with us.
So yeah, but you know, the city's technology is like on a tricycle. So
and I feel like the people in position aren't sophisticated enough to understand this, the benefit of owning the proprietary software. Or it's a friend of theirs that they're giving the contract to. So oftentimes. 1021, I said it. A resolution authorizing the Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services to accept the 2024 WIC Health Services Grant funds from the Jersey Department of Health. Love this. I do have an issue with WIC though, because they too have a backdoor deal with the milk industry. WIC will only allow mothers to purchase whole milk, or it has to be like milk from a cow, or milk from soy. It does not offer plant-based milk, alternative plant-based milk options.
That's a shame.
That's my issue with WIC. I recently had a child and I was on WIC my first year. And we don't subscribe to cow products. And so it was a waste of money. Like, I got these vouchers and I couldn't use them. And yet they still continued to give me the vouchers. So we prepay for WIC actually prepays for this cow's milk that goes unpurchased.
Cow's milk, if it's not organic, is toxic.
Right, right. And this is all we allow mothers to drink when the organic milk is not allowed to be purchased. So, like I said, it's the certain milk industry that's benefiting from WIC.
Is that the same with SNAP?
SNAP is different. SNAP, you can buy anything that's uncooked. So as long as there's no process, as long as no service is attached to the food, you can buy it. So you can buy, say, frozen
fast food crap, which you don't want to be eating anyway.
But you can buy crap food. You can spend your whole SNAP on Oreo cookies. And that's another issue. I understand people have the freedom to buy whatever they want, but if they're getting government funds, then they should just have to buy healthy foods. Like, come on, like
offer that healthy food.
To me, it's like you don't really have a freedom if we gave you this money. Like if you didn't work for it, it's not your money. We gave it to you. So I feel like, we should be giving out free vegetables, free fruits, but we're not. They did do better with the WIC program. They did hand out $21, 21, 24. It's limited. They part of WIC's program is now you get a cash amount that has to be spent on vegetables. So that they do win with that. But I feel like the food stamp SNAP should do the same thing. Like we give you, $100 a month. A portion of it should only be spent on healthy foods.
So what is the challenge with I live in between two supermarkets. What is the challenge they have getting organic produce or nitrate-free meats or plant-based cheese? What's the challenge there? I don't understand it.
It's the cost affiliated with it, because with these smaller stores, they can't afford to buy in bulk because it doesn't get sold.
Extra Supermarket and Pioneer? That's what I'm talking about.
Right. So I know Extra was challenged to do better with their produce because Jersey City Together challenged them to do so. And they supposedly did, but have they kept up with that standard? That's a good question. We should check in with JC Together to see if they can do an update.
I'm gonna walk over there as a constituent, just ask them nicely if they could get some organic produce and plant-based cheese and some healthy Coke.
Right. But I think that is the demand has to be there. So petitioning is everything, showing that the demand is there. If you like saying to your fellow residents, if they sold more organic produce, would you shop there? And bringing that to management. Because if demand,
I'll ask Block Association, and I'll ask other blocks. She might be interested.
Just as an example, like because I sell, for instance, I sell a Black-owned laundry detergent.
I know I have it. Smells so good.
Thank you. But these stores won't put it on the shelf if it's just going to sit there and collect dust. I have to create the demands first. So I go around to my neighbors and I sell it to, one-to-one to my neighbors and my friends and family. And so I can build that base first, and then go to the store and say, all right, I know people who will come buy it. Can you now put it on your shelves? So can you now keep it in stock? So it's the same thing.
Amway. Do you remember them? Amway?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she used to sell that. But next time I just opened up your detergent. I just finished my method, using my method, and now I'm on to yours, and it smells so good.
We also have dryer sheets now.
Oh, I may have to get those. It's all non-toxic, right?
No, yes, everything is non-toxic. Correct.
And
it was made for sensitive skin, dermatologist tested, all of that.
I think next time I get the clear one from you.
Sure. That's a nice plug for True Laundry Detergent. All right, we'll move on. 1022 is a resolution authorizing the award of contract to National Council for Behavioral Health, doing business as National Council for Mental Wellbeing to train the trainers of mental health first aid in 2023. This is great. this RFP went out back in 2022.
It's for staff for the city or for constituents?
They're going to conduct mental health training to the staff. It requires the staff from the National Council. Who are they training? Instructor certification training. So mental well-being is the only entity authorized to license the training and produce participant materials in the United States. Wow.
But is it for somebody like I wanted to sign up?
Right, that's what I'm looking for. Cannot be in compliance with the granted terms, deliver mental health first aid training without enter into agreement, mental well-being, mental wellness required, grant 3-day in-person training. The director of Department of Health and Services determined the certificate in writing. Contractor has completed and submitted. Who is getting this training?
Yeah, right.
It's a 3-day training.
Is it for like the city human resources staff?
Right. Let's look at the RFP. Is the RFP here? Let's see. Train the trainer. For the purpose of training the trainer, once our instructors are trained by NCBH, they can provide mental health first aid training to our target audience from the mental health awareness grant as awarded. Okay, so this is the train the trainer.
So it's city employees.
Yes,
Okay.
from Health and Human Services.
Okay. They needed to have something like that in place.
So once the trainers are trained, then the city's employees will train the public at large, I believe.
But they needed to have that in place after the pandemic. People coming back to work there.
Yeah. This RFP was a long time coming.
It's a little late. I mean, better than late than never, but you know, with
500,000.
people coming back to work after the pandemic, they needed that.
For real. 500K, and that's 22 through 26. And just get clarity on the process and what it all covers. I believe it covers training the trainees and the public at large, because it says the trainees are only, it's only 26,000 to train the trainees.
Well, if that's something I could sign up for, I would.
Right? How do we sign up? All right, 1023, and we're halfway through the resolutions. A resolution authorizing the Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services to accept the 2023 Summer Food Service Program grants. The 2024 is a resolution authorizing the City of Jersey City Risk Manager to issue a certificate of insurance naming Act Now Foundation and Hudson County Department of Health and Human Services as an additional insured and authorized business administrator to execute an indemnification agreement with Act Now Foundation. What does Act Now Foundation do? Risk manager.
Is this like, the city's attendance at what?
I'm sorry.
Was it a little higher? Cannot be held liable for
the
injury.
Brain and Health Community Resource Fair. So they're the Act Now Foundation is working with Health and Human Services to bring this Brain Health and Community Resource Fair to us. And it's going to be on Saturday, June 10th. Wow, this is where is this?
That's
news
today.
to me. Is that today?
That's today.
Thanks for telling me we were having a resource fair at Health and Human Services at Lincoln Park. Wow, a Brain Health and Community Resource Fair today. Who knew about this?
No one.
This is crazy. Let me see if it's on the city's Instagram page. Did I spell Jersey City right? The Jazz Festival. Sorry, I can't see all of my screen, so I can't see what I'm pressing on. Am I not following the city of Jersey City? That's what I'm talking about. This is something that like we definitely need, and
Yep.
it's improperly promoted. I know we're following the city of Jersey City. Hmm. Let's try Facebook. Not logged in. There we go. Jersey City. I don't see anything about health in Lincoln Park, mental health at Lincoln Park.
Nope.
That is horrible. As much as we need it.
Nope.
Got to go to Eventbrite.
10 to 2.
10 to 2, rain or shine. Workshops and services, substance abuse and mental health, free lunch and transportation included.
Really?
Oh, it's Hudson County Executive Tom DeGees. It's a Hudson County event. But they partnered with Health and Human Services. So
Yep.
if Jersey City's voting on it, then they're using some of our grant money to make it come to fruition. What's up with the marketing?
Wow.
Marketing sucks. I'm telling you, I'm making note of everything I have to say.
In terms of marketing, what I find annoying, I used to attend the free exercise classes at the Bethune Center, but they don't have their website isn't readily available. You have to go through cultural affairs. Sense to me. Well, that doesn't, I don't understand.
Doesn't make sense, right? Right. How the Bethune Center doesn't have its own. Yeah.
I mean,
and to get their updated calendar, you would think that they would email their updated calendar out when they change it. Like a senior had to tell me we were passing out an old calendar. And I'm like, well, they didn't send me the new one.
Yep. Or you can, on Facebook, sometimes it pops up, but even going to search for that calendar on Facebook, I'm like, this is trouble.
You can't just rely on Facebook because you have to be online while at the time that they posted it. You know, that's why we put it on our website too, because I don't check Facebook every day. I'm too busy. You know, there's people who are on Facebook all day, every day. And then there's people who check it like maybe once a week or don't have it at all. So.
No, I don't. Yeah. And sometimes the calendar, like you said, is outdated. I don't understand why you have to go through the Office of Cultural Affairs to see what's going on at Bethune Center. I mean, I feel like that's a disservice to the center. You're oppressing their social media in a way.
So though where the city of Jersey City isn't hosting this event, this ordinance or resolution rather is merely about us providing them a certificate of insurance. We still knew about it. You know what I mean? Like someone in Jersey City knew about this and should have made sure that it was being promoted. It's happening in Jersey City. Why aren't we promoting it? Yes, Lincoln Park is a county park, but the city of Jersey City, like, all right, I want to do one more search. I'm going to go to Instagram and I'm just hoping since it's in her ward, I just know Mira promoted it. Where's my Instagram?
Well, I'm
hoping.
I follow her. I follow all of the accounts of people just so I can kind of keep up on what they're doing. I didn't see anything, or maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed her. Mira Prisoneri.
Nope, that's not her. That's the wrong one. Mirror. There's multiple Mirror Princess Councilwoman. Let me put Councilwoman.
Well, I only see that they canceled her latest a jazz thing. I don't.
Oh, because of they canceled really?
For the quality, air quality.
Oh, for the air quality, probably, yeah.
So far, I'm not seeing.
Where is Mira? I know she's on Instagram.
I have her. I'm looking at it.
Okay.
I don't.
You're not seeing.
I don't see it. Could it be she didn't know?
If she didn't know, that's crazy. How you spell her name?
MIRA PRINZARE.
Oh, it's a Z. Okay, that's why I'm probably not finding her. Okay, let's go Insta. There she goes.
Yeah. I don't know.
She didn't know about it either. Yeah, she sure didn't post it either.
I don't.
Oh, look, she reposted my.
I don't see
this
it.
is my post. I did that. Thank you for me reposting. But did she give us credit? Repost credit? No. But yeah, no flyer about
Are you on Instagram?
Yeah, so everything Ward F is on Instagram.
No,
Councilman Gilmore is on Instagram, and I am too. I'm reporting live here.
Let me see. I think I follow you.
That's my daddy and my mommy.
Oh, they're beautiful.
That's them back in the day.
Eric.
So you'll see I post everything we post on everythingwordf.com. I also post on my personal page. This is me running.
Wait.
See how I was the first person to post the budget hearing schedule. Nobody gave me credit, but they reposted. I'm just glad it was reposted.
Wait,
and
I can't believe I'm not. Wait, where am I not?
Reporting live.
Oh, reporting live. That would be why.
Yeah, I'm not up there. If you look up Erica Walker, there's so many Erica Walkers.
Yeah, reporting live.
I forgot about this page.
Okay, I got you now. I am following now.
And I also have Walker for committee. Walker for committee.
For committee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see right here. Okay. Oh yeah, that one I found. I didn't have you. Okay. Anyway.
All right. So yes, we saw no promotion on Facebook or Instagram. And I'll go to Facebook just in case too.
Lord have mercy.
But I'm not signed in here. But yeah, promotion sucks. On to the next. 1025, a resolution authorizing the execution of an affiliation agreement between the Hudson County Community College and Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services in providing internship or observation experience into health and health service students. That's great. Internships, 1025 interns. I need to check up on our interns. And see, I'd like to look into this. I'm going to download this to see how we can go into a health interns. I want to see how we can go into an agreement to get interns in our office.
Yeah,
coming because we need knowledgeable assistants. I appreciate volunteers at any level, but I especially would love some collegiate volunteers and those that have hands-on experience. All right, 1026 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with Partnership for Maternal and Child Health of Northern New Jersey to improve maternal and infant health outcomes for women of childbearing age. This is awesome because New Jersey has some scary statistics.
Yeah, especially for women of color.
very frightening. New Jersey statistics mirror that of I think we're worse than the national average when it comes to mother and infant mortality in women of color.
Just in our state?
Yes, New Jersey. Yes, yes.
Wow.
I actually had that article up for a long time, and I recently closed it.
So that the new pediatric center that's owned by the woman of the Black woman on somewhere on Ocean, right? I've yet to go over there. I don't have kids, so maybe she can do something with informational Zoom, not Zoom, like PSA announcements or stuff.
Mhm,
She's a woman of color. I have never met her. I
mhm.
saw an announcement about her opening a clinic.
So this has the MOU, and again, we just need to make sure every agreement has a line item for marketing. Like, it's great that you're doing all this great work and creating all these great services and programs, but are
It's
your
there.
classes full? Are your classes full of minority women?
I agree. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth bullet down from the top.
Market the initiative to clients.
But even if they have that line, it's the quality of the marketing too.
Exactly. And so that was 10.6. Like, I'd like to see marketing defined.
Yeah.
What does that marketing look like? And because the city of Jersey City, they
Just
marketing to them is merely posting it in the newspaper. Oh, we posted it in the newspaper. We marketed it. Nah, yo, that's you are legal in the eyes of the Sunshine Law, but that Sunshine
Right.
Law was developed in the 80s, needs to be
Right.
updated. Just
Right.
posting it in the newspaper is not sufficient at all.
And they should know that. I mean, just like they have these
Oh, yeah,
medical
right.
mobile units, they could have some mobile units for this specifically. I see mobile units parked around the city, medical mobile units. They can do that for this
Oh,
initiative.
yes. And instead of having one event and expecting people to come to you, come to the people with those mobile events. Like,
Yep.
a lot of times people don't like to put their business out there,
Right.
and go to a public seminar. But
Right.
if you allow people to, if you have an open door policy and people
Mhm.
can come in, like every 30 minutes, you talk to a different person, or
Yeah.
you know,
And how about they partner with someone like City, what is it? City Med or what is it called?
a Prompt MD or
Yeah, maybe there's some way they can collaborate with them.
mhm.
I don't know. Are Jersey City residents more inclined to go to those rapid medical centers than to the hospital? If so, then maybe it's worthwhile to collaborate with those little rapid medical centers.
Right, because there's more of them throughout the city.
People of color don't traditionally trust hospitals.
Yeah, there should be, we should try to expand services like the CVS Minute Clinic. If we could have those minute clinic type services at even our mom and pop pharmacies, because our mom and pop pharmacies can't afford to have those clinics like CVS does. But if there could be a way where we could partner with them, because we have so many pharmacies throughout our ward, just throughout Ward F. But can they be a place for us to offer and house additional services? Like, can we get a corner of the room, just for a sit down one-on-one?
Or maybe this is a crazy idea. Maybe they can have a mobile unit at farmers markets or other fair or the street fairs or whatever. I mean, I don't know. There might be a privacy issue there. I don't know. But if it's a mobile unit, maybe not.
I mean, they had a whole mental health event, today. I think it's more than just having one event, and it needs to be ongoing engagement with the community. This one event once a year, that's cool, but we need to be on the streets every day of the year.
People are still suffering. I don't understand. I, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how the city hasn't provided mental health for their employees following the pandemic. That came up at the budget hearing.
Mhm.
It's something they're only just thinking about launching. They're working on launching. I'm like, this is 2 years
Right.
pandemic. You should have been having that should have been available during the pandemic.
Right. That should have been worked on during the pandemic. Right. Another, oh, I just lost my train of thought. It'll come back. Oh, I was gonna say 911 operators. They're
Oh,
also fighting for like they need therapy on site. Like
they
people
should
are,
fight for that.
they have the things that they have to hear.
Exactly. They shouldn't have to fight for that. Oh
Right.
my God.
And they shouldn't have to seek it out, because it's hard to find a doctor. It's so hard to find just a OBGYN. It's hard to find a dentist, let alone a mental health professional that you
For
trust
first responders, they should have an office
on site.
on site. In wherever the 911 office is located, there should be an office there, a mental health office. I don't
On
get
site. So
I
when you
don't
get off the phone, if you had just had a hard call, you can go talk to somebody, you know.
how is that not the case?
When they
How
were
is that?
fighting about their wages,
I know.
and the privatizing the 911 call center, they brought that up.
I hope that doesn't go through.
It didn't. It didn't pass.
It's terrible.
All right, moving on to 1027, a resolution authorizing the award of contract to Prime RIV Rivera Caterers to provide 2023 summer food service program to Department of Health and Human Services. Let's look at these caterers. $400,000 to provide this food, and we just want to make sure it's healthy and it is
Why not
nutritious.
do it? Why
Excuse
not
me?
have school do it?
Why not have who do it?
The school, we have that over there by Journal Square, the catering school.
Well, this bid already went out. They won it. So they might have put in the bid, but this is who won. Vendor list.
We should be open opportunities to our local talent. They should be, I don't know. It's the school. I forget what it's called. It's right on Newark. It's right on Newkirk by Journal Square.
Right. So the question is, did they know about the opportunity to bid?
Yeah.
Because all of these vendors, I don't see any vendors in Jersey City.
That's crazy.
We go all the way to Charlotte.
That's crazy.
Maryland.
Oh, there's one. Feeding our children.
Current Jersey City feeding our children, yeah. Approved vendor list. This is one from Jersey City out of 6, 12, over a dozen. Out of,
that's crazy.
There's one Jersey City vendor.
Yeah, and how many Jersey City caterers knew about the opportunity to submit a proposal in the first place?
Right.
Given the track record of promoting stuff, the poor track record, they might not have even known the proposal was out there.
Right, exactly, because our marketing sucks. 10.28 is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Aquatic Art Unlimited for the repair of the splash pad and the upgrade to the rubber ground surface at Virginia Avenue Park for the Department of Recreation. Every time we talk about splash pads and pools, I always bring up the fact that I hope that we have somebody who could be at Berry Lane every day of the summer to make sure the splash pads work, because there's always an issue. Lucinda said they will have it under control this summer. So I really hope that is the case.
Splash pad.
You've never seen the splash pad at Berry Lane?
I've seen it.
Not in working. Right. Every day last summer, it was not working. There was a little cheap toy from Walmart out there instead. And so,
Oh my God.
and that's what they say. If the splash pads aren't working, if for some reason the splash pads aren't working, we promise we will have some sort of water feature there. And this water feature is this rinky dink toy from Walmart. It's $1 million splash pad, and you want to substitute it with a $30 toy from Walmart? Yo. They glad I'm not the they glad I'm not the council person, because what I would raise a hella fuss. But I do, as a constituent, I do my part. I'm raising a fuss. I'm signing up to speak because I got so many things to say. Okay.
I appreciate you being there, because there's no way I'm going out there on an evening.
Yeah, I mean, I have to. I'm there anyway, taking notes. So
I watched them online after the fact.
And they should let people speak from online like that if you really want to make it public.
Yeah, then they'll be there until 12 o'clock at night.
True. Well, they should make these agendas shorter then. Resolution agenda 10.30, a resolution authorizing an award contract to Playcore Wisconsin DBA Game Time for purchase and delivery of installation of playground equipment at Monticello Park through U.S. Communities Government Purchasing Alliance, known as Omnia Partners. Okay, that's cool. Monticello Park. Where's Monticello Park?
Monticello Park. I don't know that park.
Right.
What was it? I mean, I'm on Monticello all the time. Wait, is it a little park? Little gated in between a couple
in between. I'm thinking, where is
it has some benches inside and a big tree, I think.
If
don't go looking
Councilman Gilmore would know where Monticello Park is. Maybe it's a new park.
Don't worry about it. It needs a better street presence, I guess. Don't go work. Go back.
No, because it could be in it's in Ward F. That's why I'm wondering. Let me look at the.
I walk up and down Monticello all the time.
Where the heck is it's $108,000 installation?
It must be that community park. That's what I'm thinking.
The one that's in between, like on the side street, you're saying? You think? Oh, here we go.
No, on Monticello.
150 Playcore Drive. Oh no, this is where they. So this is the playground that they're installing.
Oh, I don't know this part.
Monticello Park, option 3. Where in the world is this playground?
I'm glad they're getting something nice.
Yeah. It's $180,000 playground.
Good for them.
I just don't know where Monticello Park is. So I'll find out. That's 10:30. There is Monticello Park.
I have to go down that way. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I can't imagine.
I mean, I'm glad we're getting a park, because these kids need, walking all the way to Berry Lane or to Liberty State Park, or, we should have a park every couple of blocks for these kids.
Yep. Agreed.
10.31 is a resolution awarding a contract to the Sherwin-Williams Company for the purchase and delivery of paint, probably, thermal laser machine dyes and thermoplastic through the Educational Service Commission of New Jersey, through the Department of Public Works. 1032 is a resolution authorizing public sale of 29 motor vehicles, 1 pumper, 1 ladder truck, 1 dump truck, and 1 passenger bus, 1 forklift, and 1 box trailer, no longer needed for public use, through the publicsurplus.com. So this is for public auction. They have some good vehicles, some nice vehicles at these public auctions. A lot of these these vehicles are seized, and people.
RVs, they like to convert them to RVs and stuff.
The trailers, yeah. The buses and stuff. 1033, Is a resolution authorizing an award of contract to Continental Hardware for the purchase and delivery of various materials and supplies for the library project through the cooperative agreement between the City of Jersey City and the Hudson County for Department of Public Works. 1034 is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to WHL Enterprises, CA Bill Leary and Heating for 394 Central Avenue Senior Center. Good, they're getting new HVAC. 1035 is a resolution for the municipal council of City of Jersey City authorizing the planning board to conduct a preliminary investigation to determine if 808 Pavonia study area, also known as block 9404, on its tax map meet the criteria for area in need of redevelopment without the powers of condemnation as described herein pursuant. I love these because anytime these are, I love them and hate them at the same time. Anytime you see an area to be studied, just know it's triggered by a developer who has a plan for the area.
Of course.
And so we just have to, put this on have this area on our radar, therefore continue to pay attention to planning board and zoning board meetings and the JCRA board meetings, because JCRA board reviews areas that are getting Jersey City funds. They're either getting Jersey City funds or Jersey City property.
JCRA is what?
The Jersey City Redevelopment Agency.
Redevelopment, okay. Yeah, that came up at the Morrison Canal meeting, town hall, a meeting where the developer for those two properties hadn't been terribly proactive about reaching out to the neighbors or the community and informing them about what's up.
Yep. So this,
we know this.
right. This isn't just because they want the department itself is intrigued, but somebody brought up this Pavonia. So let's look at 808 Pavonia. What's interesting is, they're calling it an area, but they're using one address. An area consists of multiple streets or a whole block or a whole street. The fact that they have one address is what made me, is why my antennas, are up.
Red flag.
Right. Because they're not just saying Pavonia Avenue. They said 808 Pavonia. So who wants to, who owns this? Who wants to buy it? I don't see why should it be studied? Like this house is 808? No, that's 817. So maybe
that's coming away from the whole city hall area.
All right. So they're talking about this area right here.
Yeah, that's the back end of isn't that the back end of Journal Square?
This is the end of Pavonia, right? This is a current parking garage, and so they're probably going to develop this parking. Yeah, this is the back of Journal Square, because those are the two not Trump, but what's his name? Not Trump. What's Trump's son-in-law? Kushner. These are the Kushner buildings. And yeah, so
I hate those things. Yeah, I know that's Kennedy Boulevard on the other side of those buildings.
So yeah, they're probably gonna build up here. There'll probably continue to be parking garages on the bottom floors or something like that, but more.
They're gonna lose that block's gonna lose their natural light.
Sure enough. Oh yeah. All right. Well, they're gonna study it. So that's in Ward. Let's
be real. They've already studied it.
Right. Let's look at that good old Ward map though, just to see.
Let's just keep it real. It's already been studied.
Right. I just want to look at the Ward map to see who's the.
This is optics for us small rank and file.
But we have to practice studying other study areas so that when they do Ward F, we know what to look for.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I agree.
Pavonia Ave is Rich Bogiano, so we'll talk to Rich and see what he thinks about that.
He's very outspoken. Okay.
So that's Ward C.
He gave the police chief some heck at the budget meeting.
Because they're underpaid and overworked.
Yes.
They actually, then I don't want to say they're overworked, because I feel like they could be doing more, but I can understand why they're not, because they're underpaid. So they could be doing so much more
I
if
mean,
they were paid fairly. But for
yeah,
me, just standing on a block, I feel like that's not enough.
they
I feel like they should be walking. They should be walking the Ave and not just standing in one place.
well, they don't park the cars anymore, the police vehicles anymore, right?
With the flashing lights. Oh, you know what? I haven't seen that.
They stopped that. I
Oh,
saw
good.
that came up at some meeting, but you're right. They don't do that anymore. I don't know how I say her name. She spoke at one of our block association meetings, and they're not doing that anymore,
Oh, good.
where they're having strategically parked cars along the Ave,
Good.
but you're right, they still should be walking.
Yeah. But we'll move on. Bram Hall, 595 Bram Hall Ave, a resolution removing a restrictive covenant that affects the block. What's the restrictive covenant?
That's the church, right? That's the church.
595 Bram Hall, formerly.
That's the church, I think.
Let's go to the map. Nope, it's a
Oh, it's not the
parking
church.
lot, because this is 592, 590. How is 595 on the same block as 592? 597. That's 590, 595.
Huh? What are they gonna do though?
I'm trying to see which side is the even numbers. 592. Can you see that? Is that? Lord have mercy. I'm trying to find
a number.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna look at the. So that's somebody's house right there, and that's a parking lot in between. So this is 595, the parking lot that they're talking about in between, because that's 597.
Yep. You're on the right spot. You're on the
All
right
right. So they're gonna restrict the covenant. Let's see what the covenant is. They're gonna remove the restrictive covenant. Whereas the city transferred the property to John L. McNair by deed in 82. The deed was recorded within the Hudson County Register. The terms and conditions of the sale and a restricted covenant by the city required that the purchaser repair, alter, and remove the structure on the property to obtain a certificate of occupancy. The terms, restrictions, conditions of the sale required that no successful purchaser of the property be permitted to sell, convey, or otherwise transfer the property to anyone else before all conditions of the sale were fully complied without the express consent of municipal council to said sale, transfer, for conveyance. The certificate of occupancy, a copy of which is annexed here too, was issued in 1994 that demonstrates that the conditions of the sale were fulfilled at that time. It is the best interest of the city to release the property from the aforementioned restrictive covenants and the resolution and all covenants. Why is it in the interest of the city to restrict it?
Mm.
In accordance with the state law, in order for this resolution to be recorded in the Hudson County Register's office, it must contain an acknowledgement. City declares that it's in the best interest to remove from public record restrictive covenants pertaining to this property set forth herein. And why? It's not saying why is it in the best interest. This is 10.36. Why is it?
All of the sale or fully complied with without the express consent of the municipal council to said sale, transfer, or conveyance. The city finds and declares that it is the best interest. Okay, but why?
But right, what are those interests? Why are we removing this?
That is the most uninformative
Right.
resolution ever.
So authorizing the release of old restrictions. Okay, but the restrictions were put there for a reason.
So why?
And it's in the deed. Why wouldn't it continue? If we can lift restrictions while we're lifting restrictions, how about you lift the restriction that the affordable houses that were purchased 30 years ago have to give back 95% of their profit back to the city? How about you lift that restriction while we're lifting restrictions? Yeah, I'm messing with this. It made me sick. 1036.
Well,
Movement of restriction.
there's one link there. I was wondering if maybe it explained why there is a hyperlink. I don't know,
Yeah,
like
here, this is just the Bram
The sec-
Hall certificate of occupancy that was issued.
the second link, would that explain why?
Hold on a second. And
I don't
here's
know.
the deed. So this is the original deed. It's gonna explain what the restriction is and
Right.
why it was put there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. So the
No.
grantee shall not sell, convey, or otherwise transfer the above described property until all the conditions of the sale contained in the resolution authorizing said sale, which resolution was adopted by the governing body of the city 82, have been fully complied with. Without the express consent of the governing body, said approval shall be in the form of a resolution duly opted by the governing body. Any such covenants prior to the compliance with all the conditions or sale without the approval of said governing body shall be null and void.
Mm.
Yeah, the right to take all legal action.
No, it's not helpful as to the why.
Yeah, so we'll find out from legal what is the benefit. What is the best interest?
Why wouldn't that just be indicated
The
in the
why, right? It should be in the whereas. Like this is supposed to be the why. This click through information,
transfer
like
the
it's bad enough that we have to click through and read so much, like that it's not just in plain, but the why should be in the whereas statement.
Yeah, I don't get it.
1037, a resolution authorizing the renewal of an open-end contract with Concept Printing to provide ATS mailers, court notices for the Department of Administration. Okay, great. So this is court notices. People, we have to do that. A resolution ratifying the award of a professional services agreement with the law firm to provide City of Jersey City with training to city staff on various human resources matters. Okay. Yeah, because the people that we hire in human resources do not have the qualifications. Like this is my thing. Like we're not hiring HR people. We're hiring regular everyday people and then training them to do their job.
No. And depending on the level, the scope of the work, that's not good.
It's not. And that's why we had all these problems with the pay, because these are inexperienced people that don't understand how human resources works at the basic level that have to be trained.
It's terrible. I applied for a job there. I haven't heard back. It's been about a month.
Follow up. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. So if you want your,
well,
if you want
it, after their presentation, I don't know if that's the place I want to be.
I know.
I'm just being honest.
So 38 is training. And at that point, we'll speak on pay. Let's see. 10.39, a resolution ratifying the renewal of professional services agreement with the law firm to represent the City of Jersey City in various equal employment opportunity investigations, EEO. Well, sad that we have all these investigations, but I'm glad they're being investigated by an outside entity. 10.40, resolution ratifying the renewal. Well, let me see. It's not going to list the investigations because that's private information. But okay, 10.40, a resolution ratifying the renewal of a professional services agreement with the law firm to represent Joseph Mendez and Mark A. Petrucelli in the matter of Vanessa Gross versus the city. So we're police officers.
The next three look like legal services. So.
Right. I just want to look at the years it happened, and if we have previously. So to this point, the point that I like to make every time legal matters are brought up and us paying lawyers. I'd like to a record of the last 5 to 10 years of lawsuits. I'd like a record of our wins and losses and settlements.
You don't have to do a FOIA for that.
Settlements. But I also want to know how much did we spend on the legal process, or how much did we spend paying the lawyers? How much
Yep.
time did the lawyers spend
Yep.
on it? Like, how many years did they spend on it? And then how much money did we spend on the settlement? Because I feel like a lot of times we pay these lawyers just to settle. We just end up settling anyway. And but we paid these lawyers for years.
Yeah.
So we paid lawyers like hundreds of thousands
Yes.
of dollars just to settle for $100,000. Like, we could have just settled.
Right. It's also to oppress the bad optics. I wonder, right? As it's used as a tool to oppress the bad optics.
Right.
Also,
and also these lawyers,
how many
are affiliated, you know, are
but
known.
Is there redundancy also in the lawsuits? Like, did you learn the lesson from the first time?
Right.
Or is it a lawsuit? You know what I mean? From just another party. Is this redundancy in lawsuits? And the nature of the lawsuit.
Great point. Have they learned their lesson?
Yeah, you know, they don't want it out there. They don't tell you about it because, you know, depending on the nature of the matter, it could be impacting more people than they want.
And to be honest, these are the type of things that I wish our office could focus on.
Yeah,
but we're inundated with problems that the city should be solving. Like, we should be writing new laws. We should be proposing new ordinances and new resolutions. But our time is so much of our time is spent doing just the city's job. You know, the residence response center's job, because people don't know that the residence response center exists.
I know it exists, but I'm not sure how much how do I say this nicely? How effective they are. I don't want to blame them because they're probably understaffed just like everybody else.
Right. They probably don't have time to, they do a great job of entering the tickets, but they probably don't have time to keep looking at their tickets and seeing that they're being closed out.
Yeah.
Right. All right, 10.41, you said it's a legal matter as well. 10.42, legal services. 10.43, legal services. 10.44, represent the city of various EEO independent investigations. 10.45, more EEO enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction. Hold on. A resolution of the governing body certification of compliance with the United States Equal Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records in employment decisions under Title 7 of the Civil Rights.
What do they say? There's been discrimination?
So they want to enforce some arrests due to the equal. I hate when they do this. The purpose is the purpose is supposed to be more definitive, but sometimes they just copy and paste the same thing. So let's look at the whereas statements. So whereas this code requires the governing body of each municipality and county to certify that its local units hiring practices comply with the United States Equal Opportunity Commission's enforcement.
Under consideration of arrest and conviction records and employment decisions under Title 7.
The members of the governing body have familiarized themselves with the covenants of the above referenced enforcement guidance and with its local units hiring practices as they pertain to the consideration of an individual's criminal history as evidenced by the group affidavit. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the city council hereby states that it has complied. Okay, so this is just a formality saying that we comply with EEO standards. I thought they were about to enact somebody being arrested. All right, because you know it's only fun when it's juicy.
You need a resolution for an arrest?
No, to like take it to the next level of saying you now hold the power to arrest, like citizens arrest or something like that. I thought it was something that spoke to that, like if you witnessed, you know, unequal employment,
like it, I get you. Okay.
So 1046 is the resolution ratifying the award of a professional services agreement with Chaisi Shahinian and I'm not even gonna try CSNG PC to represent Jersey City police officers Leon Tucker and Saad Hashmi in the matter of Hiram Gonzalez versus City of Jersey City, another legal matter. Another resolution renewing a professional service agreement with another legal matter is 1047. 1048 looks like another legal matter. 1049 is another is a legal matter. Whenever you see verses, you know it's a legal matter.
That's a lot.
Mhm. We spent so much money on legal.
Yeah, it's not funny. I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
Did you see the law department's budget? I wonder how
No.
much is spent on lawsuits.
Oh, I think they mentioned, I don't remember. It was some astronomical number.
Woo! And that's actually
Millions and millions.
oh, I know it was million. Yeah, I'm wondering if it was like a 100 million.
It's a lot. I don't remember the exact number, but I do know my eye said, what? It's not funny.
Right. And that's why I'm asking, like, if the amount of money, if the amount of money that we spend on the lawyers is higher or equal to the amount of money that we spend on settlements, it's cheaper to just settle.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't be spending years and years and years on a lawyer just to settle. I understand the initial investigation. I understand hiring the lawyer to see if they've got a case or to see if we've got a case. But once you realize they've got a case and we're not going to win in the court, settle right away.
Unless the defendant wants to take it to court, if they don't want to.
But that's why it's like we need a presentation to break it down in legal terms with a pie chart. I want to see pie charts. How much of this money is spent, on settlements? How much of this money is spent on lawsuits that we've lost? How much of this money have we spent on successful lawsuits? If we're losing, it's cheaper to settle.
True. Agreed.
Okay. All right. I'm taking notes for myself. All right. We're almost at the end. 1051 resolution providing local support for Kush Smart Jersey LLC to provide C class 5 retail cannabis and Kush Mart is located where is their address? I hate when they don't give their addresses. Come on. Okay. 1521 JFK Boulevard. So that's not in Ward F. 1052 resolution providing local support for Bud Space. Where are they located? Bud Space is located at 270 Newark Avenue, downtown. And then these agenda items have been tabled. An ordinance amending chapter 53. And then municipal code for Journal Square.
To be continued at a later date.
Yes. Well, thank you, Sheila. I appreciate your participation. You've given me at least conversation. I do appreciate it. This meeting will be available.
One thing before we go, what happened at the last council meeting where they had that tech problem and Laverne stood up and she was going to say something? Do you remember?
So the last council meeting is in two parts. There's two parts of the council meeting now because they had to stop recording and start recording again.
It didn't tell you, it doesn't include the part where Laverne got cut off. That's what
So there's only one recording?
There's two recordings, but it doesn't include what Laverne was saying. That's what I was interested in.
So in the last council meeting, she was talking about her nephew.
Oh.
And the fact that her nephew has been fighting this fight. He was deemed it was something with he was on disability and so he couldn't afford his rent anymore. And so he was trying to fight his eviction because he was disabled, and he worked, he had a good job, so he didn't qualify for free legal aid, but he also can't afford legal aid. He also can't afford his rent anymore because he doesn't have that job anymore, I believe. So it was just her trying to get help for him. I gave him some links to get assistance, and I believe he has now found the assistance, or he's working on getting support, or at least advice from a law professional.
The part 2 is mostly just people milling around. I mean, I guess they had to put it up there for transparency, but I was like, well, that was a waste of time.
Part 2?
Yeah, there wasn't that much going on in part 2. But when Laverne stood up, I was like, huh.
That's interesting, because part 2 should have been, it should have started with him saying, okay, we're going to continue with part 2.
Wait, yeah, I don't remember.
I know the end of part 1 was people just waiting.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, no, the end of part 1, we just got cut off. And then if you were there live, we were just, it went to break.
I was live, and it was a long ass break.
Yeah, because the feed went down.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, what did we miss?
I feel you. Well, if you go to YouTube, you can watch.
That's I do. I subscribe. I subscribe to that channel.
Okay, good. Even though they don't make it, I wish they would create a playlist for each of the caucus meetings. They don't.
It's all mixed together.
It's all mixed together. Like you see a playlist for the rent leveling board, and they have playlists for like they have playlists for like the ribbon cuttings, but they need to create a playlist for the caucuses. What we've done, Ward F community, I think, is our YouTube channel. So we've created playlists. If you go to the Ward F community, and I'll put this in the chat.
I'm going. Oh, I gotta get that.
I'm putting it in the chat right now. This is our YouTube playlist. We have to update it, of course, because it's only myself. I'm the only real tech savvy person in our office, and I'm spread real thin because I'm the only one that knows how to do all these things, and I'm trying to train. But training takes away from actual doing work. So it's really hard. And our budget doesn't really allow us to afford another me. But I wish we could afford another tech savvy person in our office to do all these things.
Well, I have my own channel on YouTube, so if I can help out,
okay.
I have my own. I mean, I don't claim to be tech savvy, but I can usually figure shit out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you know, being tech savvy meanings know what this means, knowing how to get to the settings, knowing, how to, how to get. If you know how to get to the back end of any website, then I consider you tech savvy. If you know how to create a playlist, I consider you ahead of the game, to be honest.
Well, I haven't created a playlist, but like I said on my channel, how hard can that be?
Okay. So here we have Ward F playlist for our town halls, playlist for the budget hearings for 2022. I'm gonna
title. What is it called?
Ward F Community.
Ward F Community. I didn't know that.
So, well, we haven't publicized it yet because we're still getting it organized. Like I have to upload all of our videos from last year. Unfortunately, we were using a donated Zoom account last year from a nonprofit organization who donated their Zoom account to us because we didn't have an upgraded Zoom account yet. And unfortunately, they had reached the max of their storage and they had to take down all our videos. We did have links to all of our videos.
Like if you need me to, if you have a video or something you want me to log, you give me the login information, I'll just do it for you.
Sure.
If you need to upload it there. And if I can't figure something out, my sister who lives in Texas, who helped me build my website, she can help me.
Okay.
I wouldn't give her the passwords, obviously. I'm just saying.
Right. So what we need help with is like updating something like this. So I would you wouldn't need to have the password. I would just share it with you. Okay. And we have a list of all of our town halls here with links to them. So this is 2022. All of these links need to be updated because the Zoom links are no longer there because that nonprofit organization had to take down all of their recordings because they were out of storage. So
is it
what I did,
picking up the document?
I downloaded all of the videos. I have to upload them to YouTube. Once
Okay.
that's done, I would need somebody to go in and update the links to the YouTube link.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
also link our agenda and the link to our notes.
I work off a little fire
Tablet.
tab.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, but I'm,
You can also come into our office and use one of our computers in the office.
well, then fine.
Yeah.
You do that. Just
Great.
let me know. Let me know.
All right. And I would also have to bring my MacBook into the office because all of the videos are saved on my MacBook.
Okay.
Because the office computer, it would shut down if I downloaded all the videos to a city computer for real. Like, I hate working on city computers.
With the new technology they're installing, is that going to get better? Aren't they installing some kind of new antenna on the piece, the safety building?
That helps with the public safety comms department.
It's them.
It does. No, it doesn't help. Every department has their own technology plan.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm happy to come in and work on your computers, help you do that. Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays are best.
Oh, you remember that?
Yeah. So, well, actually, and then Thursdays are our meeting. So actually, then Tuesdays would be best for myself. So yeah, if you're willing and available, we can definitely use the help.
Just let me know when you want to start.
I think we have made this meeting long enough. We're going on 3 hours, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Before I do, just want to remind everybody to use everythingwardf.com. And thank you again, Sheila.
Thank you.
Stop sharing.
Oh.
Right. And I'm going to stop recording. But yes, thank you so much. I appreciate your participation.
Oh, you need to come in next Tuesday.
Okay. Text me and I'll confirm.
Okay.
All right.
Ciao.
Goodbye.